What is up? This is your LA in a minute, and I'm here in Valley Village at Val Surf, which is one of the oldest surf shops in America, but it's also the world's first skate shop. That makes it very important in two Los Angeles subcultures, surfing and skating. I had to look into the history, so let's get into it. So by the early 1960s, surf culture had taken root in Los Angeles, and record producer Bill Richards and his three sons liked to surf, and they were tired of shuttling back and forth to Malibu to buy products for their surfboards or the surfboards themselves. So they had the idea to open a surf shop in the valley, right here in what was then North Hollywood. So the Richards family knew the San Fernando Valley market, which had thousands of surfers and would-be surfers, was literally untapped, and that a surf store would be a wild success, which it was right here in what was then North Hollywood. But they also had a twist. See, Mark and Bill Richards invented the modern skateboard. That's right. And they also were the first store ever to sell skateboarding equipment. Now, I want to do a full stop on they invented the skateboard. Prior to Mark and Bill Richards, this is what the proto skateboards looked like. It was essentially a scooter. Through the 1950s, this was the closest kids or anybody came to riding what would become a skateboard, until Bill and Mark Richards had the idea of taking the truck, the part that holds the wheels, off of roller skates, cutting it in half and attaching it to a longer board to form what would become the prototype of the skateboard. So with the surf craze in full effect and the skateboards in their back pocket and also in the back of their shop, Val Surf opened for business in Valley Village on October 6th, 1962. From that tiny location, they generated brisk business, mostly for their surfboards, but also for being a pioneer in the skate market and being the first skate shop in the world. And keep in mind, they were the only surf shop that wasn't on the beach, so business was brisk right off the bat, focusing mostly on surfboards. But skate culture was on the ascent, especially with the advent of polyurethane wheels, which made boards cheaper to produce and easier to ride. And publications such as the LA Times were basically giving how-tos and what is about skateboards, prominently featuring Val Surf. It's worth noting that Val Surf's growth came at a time where there was a schism between people from the valley and people on the other side of the hill, as skateboarding culture was getting a lot more attention in places like Venice. But the Richards family and Val Surf kept their finger on the pulse, as they were one of the first to carry Hobie surfboards, Quicksilver gear, and kept Val Surf relevant, even from Valley Village. They kept up with trends and were one of the first shops to carry windsurfing equipment in the 1970s, and were one of the first shops anywhere to carry snowboarding gear. They stayed true to their roots by sponsoring some of the early skateboarding parks in Los Angeles. And even as competition grew fierce, the Richards family made sure that Val Surf stayed at the front of the pack. And as they continued to expand, it remained a family business, and the Richards are still involved in the day-to-day operations. So Val Surf is still going strong with 4 locations: Woodland Hills, Thousand Oaks, Valencia, and the flagship right here in Valley Village, which is now going on 61 years, which makes it one of the oldest surf shops in America and the oldest skate shop in the world. That's right, Val Surf in Valley Village. All right, LA, it's been a minute.